Okay, I have a question just on current events. Obviously, we speak from being Christians first, so that's really not a problem for me. I know some, it just maybe depends on, I don't want to say what type of Christian you are, but obviously we're black. How much should we react emotionally to what's going on? And I don't necessarily mean, because we can be some people can look at us, so too high up that we're really not concerned about the surface levels, because, what's the saying, too heavily bound, no earthly good in that instance, and you can be looked at as if you don't care, right? But you do because you obviously look in the mirror and you see a black. How much, or I guess how would you phrase it, and how much should you care? Not care, but how much should it affect you and affect you too much to say something with being respectful to who you are as a Christian and what you believe, as a Christian?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as far as what's going on now, everybody, emotions are different. It depends, and what I mean different emotions, that's a result of different experiences, different ages, because of, in other words, what's happening now, well, it's not happening, it's been happening, but some who are older know, it's like you can have somebody who's younger, they're just starting to see certain things because of their short life, and then you have some who are older who've been seeing all of this. And so you can have a different emotion, and from a Christian standpoint or whatever, when you see something like what has happened, it should disturb and bother everybody. There's no way in the world that you can see someone getting beat, killed, whatever, raped, whatever, and feel nothing. For anybody to feel nothing, something wrong with you. I don't care who you are. To see anyone getting hurt and you don't have an emotion about it, something is wrong with you. If you really don't, Now, from a Christian standpoint, like I say, we are people, we this or that. From Christians, we believe God or this or that. But Christians, our responsibility is to take care of the whole man. Not just, yea, I say, thus say the Lord. That's one of the reasons that we preach prosperity. So, because we have more, we can physically do more. So it's not just about, in church or this, that. It's outside of that too. So if things are not right or things are not a certain way, or if we see injustices and all of that, we ought to react to it. Faith without works is dead. Yeah, we believe God, but then you put some works in that too. If we see that there's a lack of education or whatever, then we try to do what we need to do. If there's once again, it goes back to with the body of Christ. We have the finances and all of that. We can take care of a lot of this stuff.
But the thing about this, what disturbs us the most is the authority. Because we are told to trust the authority. We are told to trust. Now, how can you trust an authority that abuses the authority? Yeah. And that's the anger. The anger is the authority. The authority is, when I was a little girl, I trust the policeman. Something happened, you get the policeman to do the deal. That's authority. In other words, don't you put it in your hands. You let the authority take care of it. But the problem became, what happened when the authority abused the authority? In other words,
you stop trusting the authority.
You stop trusting the authority. And that's the anger come in, because I'm supposed to come to you to help me, but you not helping me, you are killing me.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem come in at. Where I come for you for help, and yet it's the same thing about if a daughter comes to her father to help her, and then her father molests her.
Yeah.
That's authority. You abuse your authority. And so that's the main problem about where we are right now. It's like a heated thing that been heated for years. And it's saying, like, we want this to change now.
Yeah.
Because you have abused your authority. Now, when I was a little girl, when you do career class day, and they tell you the different careers, and they tell you that when somebody is running, if you want a cop, shoot in the air. If somebody running, shoot in the air. Then they said if the person is, okay, like he finna jump a gate, then you aim at the leg, or something like that, or somebody got something in their hand, you go for the hand. You do not go for the heart, you don't go for the face, you don't go for the chest, you go for that. So now, we live in a world where all that rules have changed.
Yeah, it's kind of like shoot first, ask questions later.
Right, and then and what it has done is brought up so much fear that people have taken things in their own hand. Because what you told me to trust, I don't trust anymore. So now I'm going to take it in my own hands and do it myself. And now when I do it myself, based on somebody did to me, now I get killed or arrested from, you know. So it's just so much confusion. So when the law changed, it will help people to start back trusting. Right now, we are not dealing with no trust, and that's our problem. That authority has been abused. We don't trust that authority anymore. The same way where if you had a pastor that you trust, and then the pastor had sex with one of the girls at the church, you don't trust the pastor anymore. Yeah. Because now it ain't just one pastor, it's all pastors.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, without getting into all of that, I don't knock the way a lot of people feel. And for someone to especially tell our culture you shouldn't feel a certain way, you don't have a clue. You know, now I'm not condoning you doing evil for evil and all of that. No, but to be angry, Bible says angry and sin not. But to be angry, mad, concerned, and all of that, we do have emotions. And the thing about with this situation, and we're going to wrap it up. This is not just about something that happened a couple weeks ago. This is not something that happened a couple years ago. This is not something that happened all of this or that. Depending on who you are, this is something that happened 400 years ago. And it never stopped. You saying laws, some things will help when certain laws are changed. Because a lot of laws were made that did not benefit us. They never did. They were not beneficial for us. Now, I'm talking from a natural standpoint. So that's where certain things has to happen. So this is nothing new. It's just, thank God for technology, that you got phones on, cameras on your phones and all of that. But this is nothing new that has been happening. It's been happening, and people have been yelling and screaming for years that that happened. But then if you have no proof, it doesn't matter that we come up and say, we saw this happen, but you ain't got no proof. Yeah. But now you got proof, you know. So I don't knock people for, you can't help but to feel a certain way. You know, so that's from the natural standpoint. We believe God in this or that, but for anyone to say, it's almost like saying, a person who loses a loved one, don't cry, be strong. What does that even mean? So you can't tell someone to not feel a certain way who this has been pushing against them. And sometimes people don't understand that. They really don't. You know, but you should, you should believe what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's always my word against your word.
Well, if you care about me and I'm telling you, this is how it is, or this is what happened, you should believe me.
But I really have to say it's the abuse of the authority. It's the abuse. When somebody abused that authority, all trust is not there anymore.
Yeah.
And then it's not just one thing against one person. It carried the whole boat for all of them.
Yeah.
Everybody afraid to drive by a cop car because one cop messed me up.
Yeah, yeah.
Or somebody did something that everybody, just like a woman got messed up by one man. She said all men are dogs. Yeah, yeah. So now you just put everybody in the same category. We're not saying everybody is mean, everybody is whatever and stuff. But
does it exist?
It
exists. And it's been happening for years. Yeah. So that's the bottom line. Outside of God, and I'll be honest with you, outside of God, I understand that why people can be afraid. Now we have God, we have no fear. But without God, I understand how you can be afraid because so many things has happened. You know, most black people, you know, you and I, me for years have dealt with some things with people. And still to this day, you know, but I got the Lord. So I'm not afraid, but on the same token, everybody is not where I'm at that way.
Yeah.
So I still got to take care of them.
Yeah. Amen.
All right, I thought this was marriage and the family, but it's the family. So
It's the family. You got to get together because if the head not together, the whole family gonna fall.
yeah.